you know how to create a component. Let me go to, say I have added this file component, we can say display faculty. So you have this file display faculty.js. So how will you create a function component here? You can write a function component like this display faculty, and it's a simple function. What it does is it returns some JSX code. So what kind of JSX will return here? Say you should have a top level element. So what is the top level element? It's a div. It can also be a fragment, but what is that we return here is JSX. Say this is from my component. And what is very important step here is we should export default. This component name is display faculty. So this export we should do, and if we need to render this, what is that we have to do? We should import that. Import display faculty from display faculty.js. I think we tried this, right? This and where will you render this? Inside root.render, you're going to give display faculty. Now when I compile this, your development server should be running. So what will be the output you're going to get? This is from my component. So you have rendered a very simple functional component here. Are you all clear with this? What is that I have done here? Created this simple functional component, display faculty returns. So how to code faster here is you can install this ES7 snippet. There is an extension for that. It's called ES7 snippet. So I have installed this ES7 React snippets. So if you install this snippet, plugin, what happens is I can just type RAFCE so that that code stub gets created for me. This is also a functional component. It returns some, say I can return something here, H1. This is from my component. That's it. So when I save this, this is from my component. Are you all clear with how to create functional components? Now we'll take a look at this concept called styling it. So how do you style it? Say if I want to give color red for this H1 element, I can go with style. I should give two flower brackets here and then color and colon red. That's an internal style. Save this, compile this, and then you'll see this is from my component. So how will you give an internal styling? Style is the keyword, the attribute, but only thing is it should be within flower brackets, and that should be within another flower brackets. If you're going to use a CSS for this, external style sheet for this, what is that you have to do? You can add a style sheet. Say for instance, I have a display faculty.css. Let me add one style sheet here. So that is, what is that? Display faculty. So you'll put that inside the faculty.css file, and inside this I want to access this H1 element. Say we can use the tags and access it. Suppose if I give a class name to be C, how will I access this inside display faculty.css? It's a class, so .c, and then you say color to be red. Now this display faculty.css should be imported in this component. How will you import that? You just say import a dot, dot slash, what is that? Display faculty dot css. So you compile the code, you save this file, and then you check the output. You'll be having this. This is from my component to be in red color. So what is that we are using here is an external style sheet. You can also use internal styling for styling your components. See, CSS is the same. Whatever we have learned, we can perform here. You can access it using ID field. You can access it using a tag. You can access it using the class name. You can perform all the CSS styling. Only thing is you create a CSS file in the same name and import it here like this. Is this fine? Let me remove all the styling now. Let's go to this very simple class called faculty, display faculty. and I'll just display some faculty details. This is about faculty Satish, who always teaches something like that. So this is about faculty Satish from, or else this is about faculty from Scope School, we'll say. This is better. Let me remove this CSS file here too. So this is about faculty from Scope School. And when I render this, what will be the output? This is about faculty from Scope School. Now we are going to take a look at this specific concept called, let me move to that concept. The discussion for today is concept on props in React. So what do you mean by props? You call that to be properties in React. So we'll see what is property. It's like passing parameters to your function. Let's take up this example here. This is about faculty from Scope School. If I want to have a display like this is about faculty from Site School, this is about faculty from Sense School, then what is that we need is we need three different components here, right? Each component returning this is about faculty from Site School, this is about faculty from Sense School. For each school, we need a component. You understood? If I want to display this same information for different schools, for each school, I need a component. How you can avoid this is you can reuse the same component here. How to reuse? You get some arguments. We call that arguments as props. Props is a standard, so you give props here. And instead of saying scope school, what I will say here is I will say props.school. So I'm getting some argument here that is props, and I am saying props.school. What is this school? School is something we should pass. Say when I'm calling this component, I will say school is equal to scope. So this is the argument I'm passing to my function. What is happening here is it's taking that argument props.school. What is that school here? That is this specific school. So props.school will be scope. So when I save this and render this, the output will be this is about faculty from Scope School. If I want to print for Site School, what will I do? I'll just go to index.js, I'll print Site School. So I just pass site, now it is core. So this is for faculty from Site School. So the same component, we are reusing it by getting in some props. We have to use props, that is the standard. We have to say it's props and then props.school. Can I use something like course here? Yes, it will work. And what is it you have to do here? Course.school. It's going to work, but the standard is they are going to use props because in class components, props is by default available as an parameter. So we'll have this props. Are you clear with this? So what is the use of this? Reusing components. Can I call another component within this component? Can there be another component? Say I have this first.js and let me delete everything here. So what is this component I have here is first. The file name is first.js. Let me create a component here, RAFCE. So what is that we are going to return from this is, let me say H1. Welcome to VIT University. This is the message I am going to return from first.js. I want to use this component within display faculty. Can I use that? Yes. I'll call that component here first. But before using this, I should also import it. How will I import? Import first from first.js. So without importing, exporting, nothing works in React. It's all about import and export of functions and classes and variables. So now, first this component will be rendered. What will be the message? Welcome to VIT University. And then whatever school you are passing, that's going to be in the output. First is not defined. Let me save both the files. See, you have to save both the files. And first.js, let's save it. Right, save all. Let's go to the output. Welcome to VIT University from first component, and this is about faculty from site school from display faculty.js component. Are you clear with this? What is that we are doing here? Using a component within another component. So I am passing some props to this component. From this component, can I pass some props here? Say I want to say instead of VIT, I will say NIT. So what is that we can do here is we can say we'll pass some props here. University is equal to some NIT I will pass. So this should be given to which component? Let me save this. It should be going to first. And what is that you're going to get in here? Props is the standard. And instead of VIT, what is that you're going to print? It's going to be props dot university. So what is coming in here instead of props? What is that we are passing? When you go to display faculty, we are passing NIT. So welcome to NIT University. And this is about faculty from which school? Site school. So your output should be welcome to NIT University. This is about faculty from site school. So React is all about reusability, and reusability you get it using components. So props, you understood what is the use of props? Now there are certain questions I'm going to ask you. That is, we go here, we are passing a variable here. Now the question is, can I pass an object as props? We all know what is an object. Can I pass an array as props? Can I pass an array as an argument? Yes. So we'll see how to pass an object. See, passing an object, for this I will say the faculty has taken some list of courses. Let me create an object called courses, or else I say course equals to, how you create an object, key value pair. So you call course name. Some course name will have here, say Java is the course name, and let's have course ID. Say course ID will have, what is the course ID we are going to have for Java? Say Java 1, something like the J1 will have. So this is an object. So this is the course handled by this faculty. How will you pass this object? We can call this to be the course object, and we will pass, say this is courses, we will pass the course. You understood this? So this is the object. We are passing that as the object name. Courses is equal to course. Are you clear with this? Now, how will you access this within display faculty? Props you are going to get. If I want to display the course name, how will I display that here? If I want to display the course name here, how will I display that? The faculty has taught. What is that course he has taught? Say you have to access it as props dot. In index.js, what is that we have here? Courses. So you should give props dot courses dot. The course name is name. This name is actually from the object. So props dot courses dot name. So what should be the output? The faculty has taught Java. Welcome to NIT University. We'll change NIT to VIT itself. So is this clear? So what is that we are performing here? Accessing the object and printing one of the properties of that object. If I want to print the course ID, how will you print that? And the course ID is props dot courses dot CID I gave. I don't remember it. Let's go to the output. Course ID is, what is that course ID? In index.js, it's just ID. Okay, you have to just give it as ID. Course ID is J1. You all know how to pass an object. Can we try an array? How will you create an array? Array of courses. Can we try an array of courses here? Say Java, OS, networks. So let's go with an array. How will you pass this array here? We'll again say its courses the same way. Its courses equals in parenthesis course. How will you get the elements of the array? We can use the index. Say for instance, this faculty has taught. I just have an array coming here. So what I will perform here is, let me remove all these things. I'll just say props dot courses of index 0. So we'll access the element using the index props dot courses of 0. So what will be the output? This faculty has taught Java. So when it's an array, you can use index. You can also perform props.courses.join. Something like this. You can also perform props.courses.join, and you can have spaces between the items. When you take a look at this, it just brings in all the courses, Java, OS, networks. If you just want to access a specific course, how is that you access it? Props.courses of index. You know how to pass an array, you know how to pass an object, you know how to pass a variable, you know how to access all these things. Next, we'll quickly move on to the next concept. So these things I put up in slides. What are props? Mechanisms for passing data between components, like arguments passed into a function. So all these things we have carried out. Practically, we have seen passing objects, passing variables. This also we have seen. And next comes another important thing, properties validation.